Hey guys,
I'm Ryan.
I'm Sophia, and welcome to 2T1.
Today, for our intro episode, we're going to be talking about just our I don't know what I'm saying.
So before we start, we wanted to give you guys a quick overview of what our podcast is about. So throughout our episodes on this podcast, we will be exploring and dissecting many of the different aspects of high school experiences, and in the future, we will be accompanied by some very special guests, so make sure to stay tuned.
Okay, so today we will be talking about our different experiences in private school and just some of the different things we faced. So for me, I have gone to a total of 3 schools in my life. I'm at my 3rd school currently, and the first school that I went to, I was there for 8 years. It will always be a second home to me. Love it so much. So I was one of 2 black kids when we ended up graduating. So granted, there were only about 16 of us, so it really wasn't that big of a deal. But growing up in that type of environment, I never really noticed race or like how different I was from my friends up until I was around like 12, like in 6th grade. It was when I kind of started picking up we do things differently, we live our lives a little differently. But even then, it really wasn't like that prominent to me, especially because my 6th grade year got cut short because of COVID. Then when I started my second school, I was only there for 2 years, but I loved it so much. It was an amazing experience. We'll forever be grateful for that school. But there were more black kids. I think there were like 5 of us in my grade. Um, and that was more than I was used to. But even then, I gravitated toward a certain group because that group was what I knew and what I felt comfortable with. It was never there was never any direct racism from them at that school. Everyone was open and welcoming, and it was a comforting place. And there were just small differences that I had noticed, especially like, okay, if it was like misting or if it was like sprinkling, they would just be like, all my friends would just walk around, just whatever. But I had to wear my hood because it was like, they were like, well, why do you have to wear your hood? And I was like, because I can't get my hair wet. And that did kind of make me feel a little bit like, okay, I am different in this way. I cannot get, the hair I just got straight and wet. Like, that's not gonna work. So, um, now moving on to the school that I'm at currently, there are a lot more people who look like me, and there are a lot more diverse cultures and religions. But I have faced some microaggression, which is something that I've never faced before. There was an issue with the teacher in my hair. It was something that I had never experienced, and I do understand that it is going to be something that I am going to have to deal with, going to different schools and just going throughout life. So I'm glad that I'm facing it now so that I can understand.
Okay, so my past experience has been different from the previous experiences of many of my friends. So I originally grew up in Los Angeles, which was a much more diverse and open place than Texas. And the schools that I went to were never host to like a predominant race or ethnicity. It kind of gave us a balance of multiple races and ethnicities and just people. So it kind of became a melting pot for many different cultures. So coming to Texas has been very different for me personally, but not in a necessarily like bad way at all. Um, because I now go to a school that does not have as much diversity as my past schools in LA, but they are pretty open, I would say. And the integration of affinity groups into our school, such as the Black Student Union, um, has helped with the development of conversations surrounding the exclusion and inclusion and integration in general of people in different scenarios. And so I feel very grateful and privileged to have the opportunity to be a part of those conversations and facilitating them and just be a part of the community as a whole. Similarly to Ryan's experiences in her Christian schools in the past, the schools that I've been to, we've had chapel every day or almost every day. It kind of varies for the different schools. And we've had fun chapel days where we have like fun Bible songs and stories. And then also She experienced this more so in school, but another thing that I found that was a common experience between the school and the church in general was that at Ryan's Past schools, they've had to memorize Bible verses. And I haven't experienced that personally in school, but in church, I've experienced that. And I think it was really helpful, especially along my journey with God, because now I know a lot of verses to turn to um, in times of need, really. So I think that that's a really special thing that they kind of brought together with the church. We hope that you guys enjoyed this episode and stay tuned for more coming soon. Bye.
Bye.